A Life Cut Short, remembering Nicole Murray. Nicole Murray was a young woman with a bright smile and a love for life. She was 24 years old and from Northeast Philadelphia. Friends and family remember her infectious laughter and her kind heart. Nicole loved Wawa coffee, the music of David Bowie, and capturing moments with selfies. She was a student at the Community College of Philadelphia. Nicole had dreams of becoming a nurse and had been accepted into a nursing program. She was determined to make a difference in the world. But tragedy struck, and Nicole's light was extinguished too soon. Her life, full of promise, was cut short under mysterious circumstances. Nicole's life was not without its struggles. After the devastating loss of her father, she battled with addiction. Despite this, she remained determined to overcome her challenges. Nicole sought help and was making strides toward recovery. She was determined to build a better future for herself. Her story is a reminder that everyone has a past, and everyone deserves a chance at redemption. Nicole's story is tragically not unique. She is one of many young women who have gone missing or been found murdered in Kensington. The neighborhood, plagued by the opioid epidemic, has become a hunting ground for predators who prey on vulnerable women. Vanishing into the night. The disappearance of Nicole Murray. Nicole Murray disappeared in late December 2017. She was last seen in Kensington, a neighborhood notorious for its open-air drug market and the grip of addiction that snares so many. Witnesses reported seeing Nicole getting into a car with a man known only as Pocono Bob. This was the last confirmed sighting of Nicole. Her sudden disappearance sent ripples of fear and worry through her family and friends. Days turned into weeks, and there was no sign of Nicole. Her phone went straight to voicemail. Her social media accounts, usually buzzing with activity, fell silent. Hope dwindled with each passing day. Nicole's family clung to the hope that she was still alive, desperately seeking answers in the labyrinth of Kensington streets. The fear that had been a whisper in the back of their minds grew louder with each unanswered phone call, each dead end. The police launched an investigation, but leads were scarce. Nicole's loved ones refused to give up, plastering missing person posters on every available surface, their pleas for information echoing through the streets where she was last seen. Whispers on the streets, the enigma of Pocono Bob. The name Pocono Bob began to circulate through the streets of Kensington, a chilling whisper that sent shivers down the spines of those familiar with the area. He was a shadowy figure, known to frequent the neighborhood and lure vulnerable women with promises of escape and a better life. He would invite them to his rural home in the Poconos, a place far removed from the harsh realities of Kensington. Witnesses described him as a predator, preying on women struggling with addiction, offering them drugs and a place to stay. He was often seen driving a white Chrysler convertible, a symbol of escape in a neighborhood riddled with despair. His promises were alluring, a dangerous siren song in a place where hope was a precious commodity. Pocono Bob became a person of interest in Nicole's disappearance. His connection to Kensington and his history of preying on vulnerable women painted a grim picture. The investigation focused on finding this elusive figure, but he seemed to have vanished into thin air, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and mounting fear. A glimmer of hope, dashed against the rocks, the last message. A glimmer of hope emerged in the darkness on January 3, 2018. Nicole sent a text message to a friend. In the message, she asked to be picked up from the Poconos. It was a lifeline, proof that she was alive and desperate to escape whatever situation she found herself in. The message sparked a renewed sense of urgency in the investigation. But that glimmer of hope was quickly extinguished. The phone number that sent the message was no longer in service. The location where Nicole requested to be picked up remained unknown. The message, once a beacon of hope, became another agonizing piece in the puzzle of her disappearance. The unanswered questions surrounding the text message only deepened the mystery. Who did Nicole send the message to? Where in the Poconos was she trying to escape from? The unanswered questions lingered, a painful reminder of Nicole's absence and the lack of answers surrounding her disappearance. On April 20, 2018, a chilling discovery shattered the fragile hope that had clung to Nicole Murray's case. A body was found on an abandoned mobile home property on Foliage Drive in Blakesley, Tunkhannock Township, in the heart of the Poconos. The property was eerily desolate, a forgotten place where secrets whispered in the wind. Dental records confirmed the devastating truth: the body was Nicole Murray. Her remains were found far from the bustling streets of Kensington, discarded in a place where few would think to look. The discovery sent shockwaves through the community, confirming their worst fears. An autopsy was performed, but the results were inconclusive. The cause of death remained undetermined, and the toxicology report, which could hold crucial answers, was still pending. The lack of concrete answers only fueled the anguish of Nicole's loved ones, leaving them trapped in a nightmare of uncertainty. Section 6. A family's anguish, a community's fear, the search for justice. The Murray family was left grappling with unimaginable grief and a torrent of unanswered questions. They held on to the belief that Nicole was clean at the time of her disappearance and that she had every intention of returning home. They released a public statement, their words a poignant mix of sorrow and a desperate plea for justice. "We believe Nicole went with the wrong person, someone who took advantage of her," the statement read. "She was loved, she was cherished, and her absence leaves a void that can never be filled." Their pain resonated throughout the community, fueling a collective sense of outrage and a demand for answers. Despite the discovery of Nicole's body and the cloud of suspicion hanging over Pocono Bob, no charges were filed against him. The investigation was plagued by dead ends and a lack of concrete evidence. The case went cold, leaving Nicole's family and the community grappling with a sense of injustice and the chilling realization that her killer may still be at large. Section 7. Lost Daughters of Kensington, a pattern of vanishing lives. Nicole Murray's tragic story is not an isolated incident. It shines a harsh light on the larger issue of missing women in Kensington. The neighborhood, plagued by the opioid epidemic and a sense of lawlessness, has become a dangerous place for vulnerable women. Many disappear without a trace, their stories fading into the background noise of the city. The disappearances often follow a similar pattern. Young women, often struggling with addiction, vanish without a trace, last seen in the company of men who prey on their vulnerability. Their families are left in a state of perpetual anguish, clinging to fading hope and searching for answers in a system that often fails to protect the most vulnerable. The lack of attention given to these cases is a travesty. These women are not just statistics, they are daughters, mothers, sisters, and friends. Their lives mattered, and their stories deserve to be told. The epidemic of missing women in Kensington demands attention, resources, and a commitment to bringing justice to the victims and their families. Section 8. Breaking the silence. A call for vigilance and action. The fear that permeates Kensington is palpable. Women are afraid to walk the streets alone, especially after dark. The lack of answers and the slow pace of justice have eroded trust in the system that is supposed to protect them. The community is demanding action, calling for increased police presence, resources for addiction and mental health services, and a renewed focus on solving the cases of missing women. This is not just a Kensington problem, it is a societal issue that requires a multifaceted approach. We must address the root causes of vulnerability, such as poverty, addiction, and lack of opportunity. We must empower women with resources and support systems that prevent them from falling prey to predators. We must break the silence surrounding these cases. We must speak out against the violence and demand justice for the victims. We must hold law enforcement accountable for their investigations and demand transparency in their handling of these cases. Section 9. In the shadow of tragedy, hope for a safer tomorrow. The shadow of tragedy hangs heavy over Kensington, but amidst the grief and fear, there is a glimmer of hope. The community, united by shared loss and a fierce determination, is working to create a safer future for their daughters, sisters, and mothers. They are organizing, advocating, and demanding change. They are working to establish support groups for families of missing persons, providing a space for healing and shared strength. They are advocating for legislation that strengthens the investigation and prosecution of these crimes. They are raising awareness about the dangers faced by women in their community, empowering them with knowledge and resources. The fight for justice for Nicole Murray and the countless other missing women of Kensington is far from over. But with every step taken, every voice raised, and every act of courage, they are one step closer to reclaiming their streets and creating a future where their daughters can walk without fear. On a sweltering summer day, June 11, 2020, a chilling discovery shook the city of Philadelphia. A suitcase lay abandoned near a bustling SEPTA L station in Kensington. Inside, the lifeless body of 25-year-old Christina Gribbin, a young mother from Chester County, was found. Christina was known for her bright smile and her dedication to her young son. Her sudden and tragic end left many in disbelief. The news of Christina's death sent shockwaves through her community and beyond. Friends and family were devastated, struggling to comprehend how such a vibrant life could be so abruptly and violently taken away. The image of her discarded remains, a stark contrast to the vibrant life she once lived, became a haunting reminder of the vulnerability of women in a city grappling with crime and despair. Christina's story resonated with many, highlighting the dangers that lurk in the shadows of urban life. The location of the discovery, Kensington Avenue, was notorious for its open-air drug market and the violence that often accompanied it. This area, known for its struggles with addiction and crime, painted a grim picture of the environment where Christina's body was found. This grim backdrop only amplified the tragedy of Christina's fate, raising questions about the circumstances surrounding her death and the possibility of foul play. Was she a victim of the rampant crime in the area? Or was there a more personal motive behind her death? As investigators descended upon the scene, the search for answers began. They meticulously combed through evidence, hoping to piece together the final moments of Christina's life. Who was responsible for Christina's death? Detectives interviewed witnesses, scoured surveillance footage, and followed every lead, determined to bring justice for Christina and her grieving family. And what brought her to this desolate corner of the city? The answers remained elusive, but the quest for truth continued, driven by the hope of uncovering the mystery behind Christina Gribbin's tragic end. Kensington, a neighborhood etched in the fabric of Philadelphia's history, has long been plagued by poverty, addiction, and crime. The open-air drug market that has taken root in the area casts a long shadow, attracting violence and despair. The once thriving community now bears the weight of countless tragedies, with many lives lost or forever altered by the opioid epidemic and the lawlessness it breeds. Christina Gribbin's case, while shocking in its brutality, is sadly not an isolated incident in this part of the city. The streets of Kensington have witnessed countless acts of violence against women, many of whom remain nameless, their stories untold. The discovery of Christina's body served as a grim reminder of the vulnerability of women, particularly those struggling with addiction or caught in the crosshairs of the drug trade. The investigation into Christina Gribbin's death was swift and relentless. Detectives worked tirelessly, following every lead and piecing together the events that led to her tragic demise. They meticulously combed through evidence, interviewed witnesses, and analyzed hours of surveillance footage. The community of Kensington was shaken, and the pressure was on to find Christina's killer. Surveillance footage from the area where Christina's body was found played a crucial role in identifying a suspect. Detectives scrutinized every frame, looking for any clue that could lead them to the perpetrator. The footage captured images of a man, later identified as Aaron Mosher from Browns Mills, New Jersey, carrying a suitcase that matched the one in which Christina's body was found. This was a significant breakthrough in the case. Detectives then focused their efforts on tracking Mosher's movements and gathering more evidence to build a solid case against him. They discovered that Mosher had a history of criminal activity, which only strengthened their resolve. On July 20, 2020, just over a month after Christina's body was discovered, Aaron Mosher was arrested and charged in connection with her death. The arrest brought a sense of relief to the community, but the investigation was far from over. The charges against Mosher included criminal conspiracy, tampering with evidence, abuse of a corpse, and obstruction of justice. Each charge carried significant weight, and the prosecution was determined to see justice served. The prosecution alleged that Mosher had played a role in concealing Christina's death, even if he had not directly caused it. They presented a compelling case, supported by the evidence gathered during the investigation, and the trial was set to be a pivotal moment in the quest for justice for Christina Gribbin. Beyond the headlines and the courtroom proceedings lies the story of a remarkable young woman whose life touched many. Christina Gribbin was a young woman with a story waiting to be told. Her life was a tapestry of dreams, aspirations, and heartfelt connections. Born and raised in Chester County, she grew up surrounded by the serene landscapes and close-knit community that shaped her character. Christina was a beloved daughter, sister, and friend. Her family and friends remember her as a beacon of light, always ready to lend a helping hand or share a kind word. Those who knew her best remember her infectious smile, her kind heart, and her ability to make everyone around her feel special and loved. Her unwavering love for her two young sons was evident in everything she did. She was a devoted mother who cherished every moment spent with her children. Christina was a graduate of Twin Valley High School, where she was known for her dedication and hard work. She pursued a career in nursing, driven by a deep desire to help others. She enrolled in the licensed practical nurse program at Columbia College of Missouri, where she excelled in her studies. Her commitment to her education and her passion for nursing were evident to all who knew her. Christina also had a passion for writing and poetry. She found solace in expressing her thoughts and emotions through words, often filling journals with her reflections. Her writing was a window into her soul, revealing a depth of feeling and a keen insight into the human experience. Her love for animals was another defining aspect of her character. Christina found joy in caring for creatures great and small, often volunteering at local animal shelters. She had a special bond with animals, and her compassion extended to all living beings, making her a beloved figure in her community. Christina's empathy and kindness were evident in every aspect of her life, from her professional aspirations to her personal passions. The loss of Christina left a void in the lives of those who loved her, a void that can never be filled. Her memory, however, continues to inspire and remind us of the impact one person can have on the world. Though she is no longer with us, Christina Gribbin's legacy lives on in the hearts of those who knew her, a testament to a life lived with love, compassion, and grace. Section 5. A Community in Fear: Missing Women in Kensington. The tragic case of Christina Gribbin brought to light a disturbing trend in Kensington and the surrounding areas: the alarming number of missing and murdered women. While official statistics remain elusive, community activists and victims advocates paint a grim picture of a neighborhood grappling with a crisis. Women, particularly those involved in sex work or struggling with addiction, are disappearing at an alarming rate, their fates often unknown. The reasons behind this crisis are complex and multifaceted. The opioid epidemic, which has ravaged Kensington, has left many women vulnerable to exploitation and violence. The prevalence of human trafficking in the area further exacerbates the problem, trapping women in a cycle of abuse and despair. Section 6. Echoes of Loss. Other unsolved cases in Kensington. Christina Gribbin's case, while tragic, is sadly not unique in Kensington. The neighborhood has become an unfortunate epicenter for violence against women, with numerous unsolved cases haunting the community. The lack of closure for families of victims only amplifies the pain and suffering. Many are left with unanswered questions, grasping for any shred of information that might shed light on the fate of their loved ones. The disappearances and deaths of these women often go unreported or under-investigated, leaving a sense of injustice and a community crying out for answers. Section 7. Justice Delayed: The Trial and Defense of Aaron Mosher. As the wheels of justice slowly turned, the trial of Aaron Mosher got underway. The prosecution presented a compelling case, weaving together a narrative of deceit and indifference. They argued that Mosher, whether directly responsible for Christina's death or not, had played a key role in concealing her passing and disposing of her body. Mosher's defense team, however, maintained his innocence, claiming that Christina's death was the result of natural causes, possibly a drug overdose. They argued that Mosher, fearing the repercussions of being found with the deceased person, had panicked and made the ill-fated decision to dispose of her body. The defense's strategy hinged on portraying Mosher as a desperate man caught in a difficult situation, rather than a cold-blooded criminal. Section 8. A Call to Action: Seeking Justice for Christina and Others. The tragic case of Christina Gribbin serves as a stark reminder of the urgent need for action to address the issues plaguing Kensington and protect the vulnerable women who call it home. Law enforcement agencies must dedicate more resources to investigating crimes against women in the area, particularly those involving missing and murdered women. The cycle of violence will continue unless those responsible are held accountable for their actions. Community outreach programs are essential to provide support and resources to women struggling with addiction or trapped in dangerous situations. By offering a helping hand and a path to recovery, we can prevent future tragedies and empower women to break free from the cycle of abuse. Section 9. Hope endures. Supporting families and preventing future tragedies. The memory of Christina Gribbin lives on in the hearts of those who loved her. Her tragic death serves as a reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of cherishing every moment. Christina's family, while grappling with the unimaginable loss of their daughter, sister, and mother, has shown incredible strength and resilience. They have channeled their grief into advocacy, working tirelessly to raise awareness about the plight of missing and murdered women in Kensington. Their efforts, along with those of countless community activists and organizations, offer a glimmer of hope in the face of despair. By shining a light on the dark corners of the city and demanding justice for those who have been silenced, they are working to create a safer world for all women.
Arrest in the case of a Chester County woman found dead in a suitcase in Kensington. Police arrested Aaron Mosher of Browns Mills, Burlington County earlier this week. He's facing numerous charges, including abuse of a corpse and tampering with evidence. Police say the victim was 25-year-old Christina Gribbin, a mother of two from Honeybrook. Her body was found inside a suitcase here on the sidewalk near SEPTA's Market Frankfurt L. No word tonight on the
man is behind bars in connection with a woman's body found in a suitcase in Kensington in June. Aaron Mosher of Browns Mills is charged with criminal conspiracy, tampering with evidence, and abuse of a corpse.
They put the drugs out here, and now they don't want us out here.
The demons inside of me, you know, they don't sleep.
On a given day, 400 to 800 people are on the streets here looking for their next high.
Like, I know they're trying to clean it up right now, but I don't know where they expect everyone to go.
Kensington, Philadelphia used to be a lively place, but now it's known for drugs. In this documentary, I talked to people from the area to show what life is really like there. Get ready to see the tough truth about Kensington, the biggest outdoor drug market on the East Coast. How do you end up in Kensington?
Someone introduced me to it 10 years ago.
I'm an addict. Right now I'm homeless. We had to move out of my the mother-in-law's house.
I just kept running away from everything, problems. When I didn't have problems, when I was happy, sad. When I was nothing, I just came down here.
I got discharged from Jefferson towards the hospital. They wouldn't provide transport back to my home city. So they more or less just said, we wish you the best of luck and good luck to you.
What brought you down here?
Family.
Your family live out here?
Yeah, I got 2 sisters here out of 9. Got 9 sisters, 2 of them live in Philly, but I got stuck with the drugs, man.
What was it like for you in Kensington growing up out here?
I ran the streets since I was a buck. Fucking niggas running wild, getting that chicken, getting high.
It's like right around when COVID started. I ended up not having my name on the lease, and the landlord where I was staying didn't want to renew the lease because of everything that was going on. And the person who I was renting a room from, his dad had gotten sick, so he ended up moving back home with his dad. So it was kind of like up in the air. And then when the governor closed everything down, I had no job, and not for nothing, the restaurant that I was at was too small to kind of give anyone any type of furlough or anything to hold them over. So I was a little SOL and ended up coming out here after a couple months of staying with a couple friends, ones that actually could, accept people that weren't family.
I came here because of my mom. And at the age of 10, I started selling drugs.
Why so young?
I got introduced to the drug game.
What was your first impression of Kensington when you got here?
Like the first time?
Your first day?
I was under the impression that we were going to Bucks County. So when I got up here, I mean, I drove and the guy was like, lock the doors, don't make eye contact with anybody, just keep your head down and wait until I get back. And